everyone, Mr. Surge here. I hope you're doing well. So today I wanted to share with you a story that I'm really fond of. And this story is called Instructions by Neil Gaiman. Now, Neil Gaiman is an author who's known for doing sort of spooky stories, stuff like The Wolf in the Walls and Coraline, but this isn't a spooky story. This is actually a poem that he wrote that was illustrated later and turned into a picture book. So today we're going to be reading a poem, and it's not like a lot of poems that you've probably read before. This one doesn't have a lot of rhyming. So we're going to be reading it, and then we're going to be talking a little bit about the poem. I hope you enjoy. Instructions, written by Neil Gaiman, illustrated by Charles Vess. Touch the wooden gate in the wall you never saw before. Say please before you open the latch. Go through. Walk down the path. A red metal imp hangs on the green-painted front door as a knocker. Do not touch it. It will bite your fingers. Walk through the house. Take nothing, eat nothing. However, if any creature tells you that it hungers, feed it. If it tells you that it is dirty, clean it. If it cries to you that it hurts, if you can, ease its pain. From the back garden you will be able to see the wild wood. The deep well you walk past leads to Winter's realm. There is another land at the bottom of it. If you turn around here, you can walk back safely. You will not lose face. I will think no less of you. Once through the garden, you will be in the wood. The trees are old, eyes peer from the undergrowth. Beneath the twisted oak sits an old woman. She may ask for something. Give it to her. She will point the way to the castle. Inside it are 3 princesses. Do not trust the youngest. Walk on. In the clearing beyond the castle, the 12 months sit about a fire, warming their feet, exchanging tales. They may do favors for you, if you are polite. You may pick strawberries in December's frost. Trust the wolves, but do not tell them where you are going. The river can be crossed by the ferry. The ferryman will take you. The answer to his question is, if he hands the oar to his passenger, he will be free to leave the boat. Only tell him this from a safe distance. If an eagle gives you a feather, keep it safe. Remember that giants sleep too soundly, that witches are often betrayed by their appetites. Dragons have one soft spot, somewhere, always. Hearts can be well hidden, and you betray them with your tongue. Do not be jealous of your sister. Know that diamonds and roses are as uncomfortable when they tumble from one's lips as toads and frogs, colder too, and sharper, and they cut. Remember your name. Do not lose hope. What you seek will be found. Trust ghosts. Trust those that you have helped to help you in their turn. Trust dreams. Trust your heart, and trust your story. When you come back, return the way you came. Favors will be returned, debts will be repaid. Do not forget your manners, do not look back. Ride the wise eagle, you shall not fall. Ride the silver fish, you will not drown. Ride the gray wolf, hold tightly to his fur. There is a worm at the heart of the tower. That is why it will not stand. When you reach the little house, the place your journey started, you will recognize it, although it will seem much smaller than you remember. Walk up the path and through the garden gate you never saw but once before. And then go home, or make a home, or rest. The end. Every time I read that story, it makes me think about directions, which are instructions about how to get from one place to another place. Nowadays we have a lot of apps for stuff like that. Apps like Waze and Google Maps that just tell us where to go. But back in the old days, you would have to get directions from somebody else. So they would just tell you where to go and you would have to remember. So imagine that you have a friend and you're trying to tell them how to get to your favorite restaurant or your favorite park. Now imagine you also have to tell them how to avoid a dragon or which way to turn to avoid a troll. Do you think that would be easy? I think it would be really hard personally, which is why I'm always so impressed by Instructions by Neil Gaiman. I think he does a really great job of explaining where to go and how to avoid all these different pitfalls. The other thing that I always think about when I read instructions is about the pictures drawn by Charles Vess. The illustrations in this book were completed after the words, so Neil Gaiman had sat down and he had written out the entire poem. Then, when he was finished, he asked Charles Vess to draw the pictures of the poem. So, every time I read something like that, it makes me think what kind of pictures I would draw. What would I do differently? There are a couple points in the story where I read it and a different image pops into my head. An example of this is the scene where he talks about the worm at the heart of the tower. I think of a big dragon, like a long, snaky dragon with big wings in the middle of this big tower. But Charles Vess kind of draws the dragon off to the side, sort of in the corner. So that's one place where I would do something differently. So, my instructions for you this week, if you choose to accept, are to draw an image from the book that you have in your head. Maybe an image that looks really different than the stuff that Charles Vess wrote. There's no wrong or right way to draw the pictures from a book, especially something like instructions, which has a lot of different descriptive language. So give it your best shot and just be creative, see what you come up with. I hope you all have a really great week, and I look forward to speaking to you again soon. Bye!